No, what am I doing? Yep. Last trial today. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Who will be this year's Grand Prix champion? Who will be our hero of heroes? Will it be last year's runner-up, Jammin' Ninja? Or maybe Captain Saipan, all the way from lovely was he the student of a certain star and global hero who can cope on doesn't... We hope Lady Luck is with all our heroes tonight. And I wish this was not fucking auto text. And now, the winner of the 3rd annual Hero of Heroes Grand Prix is me! Ooh, the true hero of the night has appeared in our midst. It looks like this year's Grand Prix goes to this fantastic warrior, the Nickel Samurai. Too bad, Jammin' Ninja. Looks like the title eluded you again this year. Alright, yes. Did you hear that, Nick? Did you? The Nickel Samurai. You did it. Yeah, you sure did. Getting too old for this. Oh, I'm proud of the guy for doing the series justice. So the person everyone was cheering for, I guess he got the prize. Yep. You know who we're talking about, right, Pearly? The Nickel Samurai. No, every Sunday I only watch the educational channel's Kids Masterpiece Theatre. Okay, that's it. From now on it's the Nickel Samurai. All the kids watch it. Do you like the Nickel Samurai too, Mr. Nick? Nah, Nick's an old fart, so he's not allowed to watch it anymore. That's right, but I do like Kids Masterpiece Theatre. Hey, I didn't know you were so young at heart, Nick. Mr. Nick, you're a grown-up. You're not allowed to watch it anymore. You're supposed to act your age and have interests that match. It's very important. Give it a rest, Pearly. Looks like I made the right choice in inviting everyone here. Oh, I'm glad you're all having a good time. It's like a dream. Oh, too bad for the Jammin' Ninja though. Last year he lost to the Pink Princess, warrior of little oldie Tokyo. I thought this might be his year. Yeah. Oh, hey, did anyone else think that the Jammin' Ninja looked a bit different today? Different? What did you mean? Well, he wasn't carrying his bright red guitar. Hey, you're right. Strange he'd walk around without his signature guitar. I'll never understand these people and their shows. Anyway, Mr. Powers, thank you very much for tonight. Oh, it was nothing. I owe you one, so it's just my way of saying thanks. Hey Nick, come on. It's time to get going to the lobby. There's a post-ceremony stage show that's supposed to start real soon. And then, I heard there's going to be a press conference after that. Press conference? Is he going to make a speech about winning this year's prize? Oh, well, not exactly. Something about the Nickel Samurai confessing something. Confessing? Sounds pretty serious. Hey, Nick, come on! You don't want us to be the last ones there, do you? Yeah, Mr. Nick, do you? Why me? Sure doesn't even start for another 20 minutes. Thank you very much for inviting us today. Oh, it was nothing really. Guys like us don't get to come to a place like this Guys like us don't get to come to a place like this often, so I thought I'd invite you all.
Hey, Mr. Powers, what have you been up to lately?
Well, since the Pink Princess successfully wrapped up last month, I've been on a kids' exercise show. While wearing a rabbit mask over my face.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I'm still really sorry about all the headache I caused you that time, Mr. Wright. Oh well, what's done is done, so let's forget about it. This is Will Powers. He's an action star. His popularity exploded when he was the Steel Samurai. He was the first case Maya worked on with me.
It's too bad you look scary, or people know you're a real softie. It's too bad you look scary, or people know you're a real softie who's good with kids.
Oh, thanks. Can't believe they're going to make a movie based on the Nickel Samurai.
I can't believe it either, but for a different reason.
The Steel Samurai, an epic story of one hero in a desperate fight against his arch nemesis, the evil magistrate, in the city of Neo-Older Tokyo. And last year they started a new series, the Nickel Samurai. The new series seems to be a hit with the kids too. I'm really attached to the Steel Samurai as a show, so I was hoping that maybe I'd get the chance to do something in this new one.
Yeah, it's too bad. It'd be awesome to see you with the new actor Matt Guard. He's super popular right now. Mr. Ungard?
Looks like Pals doesn't know who he is.
This year it's going to be the Nickel Samurai versus the Jamming Ninja at the box office.
Jamming Ninja? Who's that again? So who is this Jamming Ninja again?
He's a hero, duh. His symbol is the bright red guitar he's always carrying.
Ninja who's always carrying around a bright red guitar. How does that even work?
With a scarf around his neck and a guitar in hand, he rises to stardom in an ancient time.
A ninja who becomes a star.
Yeah, a ninja who becomes a star.
There's a strong rivalry between the two of them. Global Studios' Nickel Samurai and Worldwide Studios' Jamming Ninja. And they even air at the same time.
You know what I heard? I heard those two don't get along at all. The Nickel Samurai's on guard, and the guy who plays the Jamming Ninja, I mean.
The Nickel Samurai speaks French. Oh, you mean Malangard, the actor?
I guess even the world of heroes isn't a sparkling, happy place.
Yeah. Now, what is with this place? It's like it's summoned into Oz or something. Way in the back there's a sign for the bathroom. Maybe I should visit it while I can before the show starts. Sounds like the post-ceremony show is about to start.
Alright, I'm so pumped. I wonder if he's going to show off his special move today. Nickel Samurai Smelting.
Actually, what I'm interested in most is the press conference.
You mean the big confession the Nickel Samurai's going to make after the show? So what is it? Don't you know what it's about, Mr. Powers?
Oh, well, I'm not the Steel Samurai anymore, so I don't have any idea. Sorry. So I guess you are all going to the press conference then.
Yeah, of course.
That's the case then. Here, take these tickets so you can get in. Thank you very much. Well, let's get going to the lobby.
Looks like it's over this way, Mr. Nick. Okay, for great justice.
Only a really gaudy hotel would have such a large, gaudy lobby to match.
I think they're going to have the post ceremony show over there.
They're using a compact stage, I see.
I'm all ready to use my special samurai power.
Well, looks like she's ready to start a fight. Your attention, please. Your attention, please. The Nickel Samurai's post-ceremony stage show will not be held tonight due to unforeseen circumstances.
What? Why?
Ow. You didn't have to pinch me. Pinch yourself if you don't believe it. We are asking for everyone's cooperation at this time, so please stay where you are. This is a special request from the police. Police? Did they just say the police? Do you want me to go check out what's going on? Wait, I'll come with you.
Freeze! You two, didn't you hear the announcement just now? I just finished telling you not to move. That voice, I've heard that voice somewhere before. Honestly, youth these days can't be bothered to listen to other people when they talk. Just the other day it was the same thing. It said, beware, bridge out. To the bridge, I tried to tell the boy. Listen, no, of course not. This is all bag in there. Thought it would be. Bridge honestly, kids these days. This non-stop chatter. It can't be. This old bag? What is it? You young whippersnappers? Do I know you? Wait, you... You're powers, aren't you?
Yeah. About what happened back then?
You didn't even get nominated this year, did you? Oh, that's right. You're doing that children's exercise program, trying to play nice.
Yeah, that's me. Thankfully I still have a job.
I love that show. And you're a hoot. You're the big brother. Yes, even your face covered by a mask. Work of art. That's what I... Who knows how many... Blah, 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 blah.
What are you doing here?
Look at my uniform and tell me you can't tell I'm a member of security. That outfit. Annoying, nosy brats. Get the blaster.
Miss Oldbag, what are you doing here? What happened to your position at Global Studios?
No, that old place. Well, since that incident, they've been letting people go. When they cut the security team, I got the pink slip. What incident? What did you do? I didn't do anything, you young'un. Don't you remember that incident a year ago? When this lady got on the witness stand and testified.
Yeah.
And you... Weren't you the one who was bullying me? This fragile girl at heart?
I plead the fifth.
But you know, I think maybe I rubbed the upper management the wrong way by testifying. Yes, that has to be it. Everything is all your fault.
Me?
I thought about being a bodyguard at first, after being handed old Pinky. You? A bodyguard? For your friend, that fiery good-looking guy with the red jacket and the ruffles. Mr. Edgeworth. but
That sort of arrangement would be entirely too troublesome for me.
that's what he said to me. What did I ever do to deserve that? So, did something happen? No, I don't have all the details, but it looks like another one of those incidents happened again.
An incident? Like a murder kind of incident?
Maybe. You see, I'm a bit of a devilish woman. So wherever I go, showers of blood are sure to follow. I bet you didn't know that.
Then shouldn't you quit being a security guard, at least for other people's sake?
Silence, whippersnapper! Hey, Nick.
What is it? I don't like that devilish smile playing on your lips.
Let's make like we're going to the bathroom and check things out.
No way. Police told us not to go anywhere, remember?
Huh? How boring. You're such a boring guy. You've got no motivation, no spirit. What's going on? Are you giving Mystic Maya trouble again, Mr. Nick?
You two pals. Please don't stick your little nose into this one.
So listen to this, Pally. This one time at lawyer camp, Nick.
Okay, I get it. Let's go take a look.
Yay! I knew you couldn't say no to me, Nick. That's right. You'd walk over miles of rock coals with Mystic Maya, wouldn't you, Mr. Nick?
That would be every time we work a case together.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go already. You can come along too, Pally. Goody. I get to come. I get to come.
There's nothing really out of the ordinary here.
Are you looking for the incident that the old lady was talking about?
Doesn't look like it happened here. Well, we'd better go look somewhere else.
Alright, then let's try.
Excuse me? Are you by chance Miss Maya Fey?
Yeah, that's me.
You have a phone call waiting for you at the front desk.
Oh, I wonder if it's someone from Dream Village. What's wrong, Mystic Maya? Oh, nothing. You guys go on ahead and I'll be right there, okay? Okay.
Right this way, Miss Fey.
Let's go look somewhere else now, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, okay.
This is a little exciting and a little scary.
I told you! I get people the info they want, which means that I've got a right to know. Nope, don't care who you are, pal. We're still investigating, so you can't go in.
What's your problem? Just you wait. It'll be all over the morning paper. Scruffy Detective Street scandal revealed. Secret scandal revealed. You'll see. I'll get you back. Those two sound pretty serious.
That southern accent can only mean...
Hey, you right?
Hey, Lana.
Come on, do a gal a favour and tell this cop I'm just doing my job and I got rights.
You! Detective Gumshoe. Hey, pal, have a go out. Tell her that only the police are allowed here. This is a scene of a murder, so she should leave this to us pros.
Murder?
Oh, shoot me at my big mouth.
See? I knew it. My gut instinct told me so. I always trust my gut. Murder, it said. And that's what it is. A genuine murder.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, a murder of a big star, no less.
Oh man, I'm in trouble now.
So, Detective Gumshoe, murder?
Oh no, that's not it. I got my facts mixed up for a second there, pal.
Mr. Nick? Is the dead person Nick or Samurai?
Why do you ask?
Well, Mystic Maya was rooting for him, so...
It wasn't the Nickel Samurai that got bumped. Naturally, the Nickel Samurai is the one under suspicion of doing the bumping off.
What?
The guy that died was this hero named the Jamming Ninja, pal.
Jamming Ninja? So the victim was the Jamming Ninja? Mr. Jamming Ninja?
It was on a really popular rival TV show to the Nickel Samurai.
Oh,
The victim was the action star, Jean Corridor.
Ritter.
He got a huge push and rode the express train to stardom. I mean, even I know who he is.
Yeah, even I recognise his face.
But I heard lately the mountain guard's been taking the wind out of his sail. I'm telling you, pal, as far as who's popular, these two are hogging all the limelight.
Guess there's no space for Mr. Powers at all, huh? Poor guy. Mr. Guard, that's the Nickel Samurai, right?
Yep. I mean, no, you've got to say it with more umph. A Nickel Samurai.
Anyway, so now that Jean Corridor's gone, it means Mr. Ngard has the whole stage to himself, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't bet on it, pal. You can't have that happen, you know.
Can't have that happen? What's that supposed to mean, I wonder? That woman with the big puffy hair that looks like cotton candy.
You mean Lotta?
That woman, she was there that time too, right?
That time?
When Mystic Maya did that channeling.
Oh, that time. Well, Lotta's a journalist, so that's why she was there.
Journalist?
Looks like she was hanging around here before the murder happened.
Hanging around?
Yeah, I didn't wait in front of the Jamming Ninja's door, pal.
But why would she?
She wouldn't tell me, pal. Just said something about getting my big scoop.
Scoop? What sort of news could she be after?
Nickel Samurai, he really took the Grand Prix tonight.
Maya's a big fan of his.
Really? Oh, sorry then.
Why are you sorry?
Mountain Guard was just arrested, pal. On suspicion of murdering Jean Corridor.
What? Why was Mr. Ungard arrested?
Sorry, pal. That's not something I can tell you. We're just starting the investigation, so we don't want any leaks.
Looks like yet another Steel Samurai hero is in hot water. Mr. Nick, if Mystic Maya knew about this... Yeah, I know. She'd make me take this case. I know.
So, what's going on, Mr. Wright? Looks like Jean Corridor has been killed. What? Jean is... he's...
Looks like he was murdered, and a suspect was arrested. That suspect is Mr. Matt Guard.
You're joking, right?
Nope. They arrested the Nickel Samurai on suspicion of murdering the Jamming Ninja.
Oh, not again. I feel sick.
Ken? About a year ago, something just like this happened, pals.
I still can't believe. No way. No way, Matt would.
What's Mr. Powers got in his hand?
Oh, before I forget, this is for you, Mr. Wright. I got this from the bellboy that came by earlier.
For me? But why?
I don't know. All he says was, it was for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney. Matt is the most energetic and active actor out there right now. The Nickel Samurai really sealed his place as a pop idol, but he kept adding fuel to the fire of his rivalry with Jean anyway.
Mr. Shaw, he's the Jamming Ninja, right?
Those two would butt heads over everything they could think of. But I'd say that Matt was the one who almost always came out on top.
Guess some people only know how to relate to others by butting heads like a ram.
John said he'd take Matt on his time too, so he joined a rival TV show.
That was the Jamming Ninja?
Stylish Nickel Samurai and the burning Jamming Ninja. Well, things turned messy real fast with those two using their shows for their war. And the final tally, look around, it's pretty obvious how things ended up.
Matt even won the Grand Prix this year. The final winner of his rival, I guess. Mr. Angard was going to hold a press conference, wasn't he?
That's what I heard. Though if you wanted to get technical about it, it was the Nickel Samurai's conference.
Nickel Samurais?
Yeah, he was supposed to wear his costume and give the press conference that way.
He was going to be in costume? Why?
I'm not sure. They don't keep me in the loop anymore.
I was just wondering, where's Mystic Maya? She's been gone for a long time. Now that she mentions it, I was only going to answer a phone call. Maybe she got lost? I'll take a quick look around for her. What is it, Mr. Nick?
I'm not sure.
It's coming from this transceiver. Yes? Hello? I'm right here.
Is this Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney?
And you are?
You don't need to know who I am. I think you have other things to be concerning yourself with, such as...
Help! Nick! Mystic Maya!
Maya? So, Mr. Wright, wouldn't you agree that the more important issue is the fate of the girl?
Her fate? Does he mean what I think he means?
Maya, where are you? Are you hurt?
Come now. Don't fall apart on me yet.
No,
this can't be.
Now that I have your attention, Mr. Attorney, I have a modest proposition for you. If you do what I require, then I will return to you your valuable item unharmed. What is this called again in your fancy lawyer terms?
Kidnapping for ransom.
Yes, that's it. And this is a kidnapping.
Mystic Maya!
My sight. Everything's fading away.
Maya's been kidnapped.
Are you there, Mr. Attorney? Are you there? How much? How much do you want? Very good, Mr. Attorney. I'm glad you have such a good grasp of the situation. Hurry up and state your condition, and then return Maya. Money is not what I seek. What? What I want is a certain verdict. I would like a complete acquittal.
Complete acquittal? What in the world have you done to need?
I am not the person you will be representing.
What?
You are currently at the Gatewater Hotel, are you not? And I know that a murder has just taken place there.
Sean Corrido was killed, and the suspect is Matt and Guard.
You are, as expected, right on top of things, Mr. Attorney. Now then, what I want is very simple. I want you to obtain a complete acquittal for Matt and Guard.
Matt and Guard? But why?
He did not kill anyone. I can attest to that. However...
However what?
However, someone is framing him for murder. A very smart someone who is setting him up to take the fall.
I agree and do what he wants. Can I believe he'll keep his end of the bargain?
You are, of course, at liberty to take me at my word or not. However, there is one thing you can take as fact. Right now, your very precious item is with me, in my possession.
Help! Nick!
Fire! You have 2 days. Of course, tonight he will be in questioning with the police. But the trial is in 2 days. At that trial, you will win a not guilty verdict. Remember, you only have one chance. One chance, Mr. Attorney.
You expect me to get a not guilty in one trial day?
Yes, exactly. I don't believe I was wrong in choosing you, so don't let me down. Oh yes, that's right. Now that I am playing the role of the kidnapper, I can't pass up this chance to say... And don't even think about calling the cops. Not great, but get the idea.
Damn it, who the hell are you?
Very well, I'll tell you that much. My name is... The Killer.
Mr. Nick, where is Mystic Maya?
She's been kidnapped.
No, it's all my fault. If only I had gone with Mystic Maya.
It's not your fault, Hans.
But it is, Mystic Maya.
Mr. Wright, I think we should tell the police what's going on. No, can't do that. If you do, who knows what will happen to Maya?
Mr. Nick, what about the detective we saw earlier?
Detective Gumshoe? Yes, that's it. Wait here and I'll be right back. All right, I'll take care of Pearl while you're away. What? Ransom? Shh, not so loud. Ransom is complete acquittal for Madame Guard. Wait, the deal is complete acquittal in exchange for Maya, you mean? Then this means Madame Guard is obviously the killer, pal. No doubt about it. The guy said that Mr. Guard is innocent. You really believe what a kidnapper tells you, pal? Guess he has a point.
And God really is innocent, then why the kidnapping?
And on top of everything else, there's all this evidence we keep finding. Forensics team's having a field day back there. But it's strange. There's so much evidence that it feels like something's wrong.
There's too much evidence? Is that possible? Actually, didn't the kidnapper say something about a guard being set up?
Anyway, looks like you won't be leaving here tonight, pal. Just sit tight and cooperate with the investigation. Tomorrow you can start yours.
Alright. Is there another way?
You've also got to be careful about pushing the kidnapper the wrong way.
Right. Oh, my head. Where am I? Wonder if I'm still in that hotel. What happened to me? Nick, Pearly. Come on, you guys. This isn't funny anymore.
I see you have awoken.
Who are you?
Me. I am known as the Killer.
The killer? You mean like an assassin? I'm too young to die.
Don't worry. You are not my target. For now, anyway.
Nick, where are you? Help me.
Yes, that's right. Only one person can save you now, and that is Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? Nick's going to save me?
Calm down and be a good girl. Think of this as a business transaction.
Business transaction?
I'm going to contact him now. I hope you'll cooperate and play your assigned role well.
Nick. What's going to happen to me? Nick. Pearly. Sis.
Is this Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney? You don't need to know who I am. I think you have other things to be concerning yourself with, such as...
Good morning.
Morning, pals.
Mr. Nick, come on, let's hurry and go see Mr. Engard.
We have to wait a bit, pals. Visiting hours don't start until 9 AM, so...
Oh, I see. Mystic Maya, if only I'd gone with you.
Oh, pals, she's been like this since last night. We managed to get home somehow yesterday evening, thanks to Detective Gumshoe gently holding her by the hand and leading her here. But by the looks of it, I don't think Pal's got any sleep at all last night.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, she's alright, right?
Yeah, she's alright. Either way, I'm going to save her. You can trust me on that.
Please help her.
I'm only able to stay this calm and collected because Pals is doing the crying for the both of us. Couldn't wait for visiting hours to start, so Pals and I came down here early. To visit one Nickel Samurai charged with the murder of the jamming ninja. Good morning. How are you today? I know this situation might be a little tough for you. Where? Oh, sorry dude. I already signed up. Excuse me? I already have life insurance. I signed up a long time ago, because my job is, you know... Oh, no. We're not insurance salespeople. Really? Dude, I really don't need that right now either. Fire extinguishers, I mean, this building isn't my house, so... No. We're not here to sell you fire extinguishers either. I'm a lawyer. My name is Phoenix Wright. A lawyer? Hold on a sec. I'm going to ask my manager, okay?
The Nickel Samurai. The Nickel Samurai sure is a strange person, isn't he?
I think strange is an understatement. Sorry about that. You're just in time. Huh? You're a lawyer dude, right? The manager's looking for a good one right now. So how about it?
Mr. Nick, this is our chance.
I have to make him let me take this case. I have to. Sorry to intrude, but I would like to ask you a few personal questions. That's okay, but dude, my autobiography's coming out soon, so... If I say stuff without the publisher's approval, then I'm gonna be in real hot water. Hold on a sec. I'm going to ask my publisher, okay?
Mr. Angard is so lucky. He has so many people he can talk to.
I don't know if he actually has anyone he can really talk to. Sorry about that. Like I thought, the publisher would be real bad if I said anything, dude. Does he have a mind of his own? Mr. Angard, I'd like to ask you about the murder. Oh, are you covering this for a tabloid as a side job, dude? Well, if you want my statement on this, you should ask through my staff. No. I'm not asking on behalf of a tabloid. Hold on a sec. I'm going to ask the president of the studio, okay?
Is he alright, Mr. Nick?
We're talking about Mr. Angard's brain here. I wouldn't put my money on it. Sorry about that. The studio president said, even Neo Mount Fuji itself knows that I'm not the murderer.
Mr. Nick, what's Neo Mount Fuji?
It's a mountain in the city of Neo or Tokyo, the city the Nickel Samurai protects. What's that? It's a ticket for the press conference. You're going to give one after winning the Grand Prix, right? What? Me? Yes, while you were in costume, no less. I never heard anything like that, dude. I only heard about the stage show. I always leave that kind of stuff to my manager. He didn't know? That's odd.
Mr. Nick, what are you going to do with that?
I don't know yet, but I figured I could at least show it to him. Is that a transceiver? Hey, it looks like a real nice one too. I got it as a present from someone. Interesting. I've also been instructed to take your case. Is that what you heard from the transceiver? Yes. Dude, that's terrible. Don't let some disembodied voice boss you around. And this coming from a man with a cell phone on his wrist. Well, dude, I think it's about time for me to get going. Please wait. I really need to take your case. There's always other people in need of a lawyer, right? Want me to introduce you to a few?
Please let Mr. Link represent you.
Man, oh man, lawyers these days, now you do use kids to pull in clients too. You don't take me as a lawyer. then the killer is going to. Wait, what did you just say? The killer? The killer? What's he doing? Looks like he's mulling something over. Alright, dude, I accept your terms. Huh? I'll let you represent me in court.
We did it! We did it, Mr. Nick!
Yeah. I don't feel any better for it. He doesn't look too happy either. Go ahead. Ask me anything. I'll help out as much as I can. Man, I thank my lucky stars that people know my name. Oh, you're quite the hero. And you're in the national spotlight.
I didn't know who he is. Does that mean I'm not a good citizen?
It's really great to be the Nickel Samurai. Dude, lately I just keep on getting more and more popular. Sure enough. Nickel Samurai is very popular among high schoolers and secretaries right now. This Mr. Angard has a way of catching the eye as a woman. Do you know my motto? Refreshing like a spring breeze. That's what I am.
A spring breeze?
That's why this kind of scandal is disastrous, dude. I mean, even if I get out of here tomorrow, it's still gonna look bad. Everyone loves a good scandal. Can you tell me about your activities last night? After I got the award, I took a break and went back to my room. I had that post-ceremony stage show to do, so I was in my Nickel Samurai costume. And you were alone the entire time? The manager was running around being busy, so yeah. Because of the press conference you were supposed to hold after the show. Told you, dude. I have no idea about any press conference, alright? Strange. I thought the Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. Anyway, when I was leaving my room, that's when I noticed it was kind of noisy. Mr. Corrida was already dead at that time. Yeah, that's what I gathered. Anyway, from my manager. I'm gonna gather that this guy can't do a thing on his own. That's when the detective in the green cloak showed up. He searched me and then out of the blue, the dude arrested me. About you and the victim, Mr. Jean Corrida. What sort of... It's got nothing to do with anything, dude. Man, even with that face of his, you can't even tell he's the same age as me. And he wanted to try and make a jamming ninja movie, even though we all know it had failed. The Nickel Samurai still won in the end, right? Yeah, I took the Grand Prix by storm. So why would I, the winner, have any reason to kill the guy anyway? Dude, you'd think it'd be the other way around, you know? Do you know why you were arrested? I guess maybe my full body search went badly? Did they find something on you? Found a button from the German ninja's costume. Button? I don't get it either. It was caught in the pleats of my samurai pants, or a kama. Dude, I really think someone planted it there though. Serious. Wonder if that's what really happened. I guess this is about all I'm going to get out of him.
Mr. Nick?
Yeah?
Let's ask one last thing. Let's test Mr. Angard to see if he really is innocent or not.
We can do that?
Yes. If you use this,
Maya's Bagatella?
he won't be able to hide any secrets from you, Mr. Nick. I'm sure of it.
I get it. Mr. Angard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Please answer me honestly. What is it, dude? Did you kill Mr. John Corrida? Please put the phone away and answer this question yourself. Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes John Corrida, okay?
Well, Mr. Nick,
Nothing. Not a chain or lock in sight.
which means it's alright to trust him.
Yeah, it does appear that way. Well, at least I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing my client is innocent. The trial's tomorrow, right? I'm counting on you, dude. Oh my god, now that investigation's split in half. Oy. I ain't getting this done in one day. Well, at least we were able to get Mr. Madangard as our client. And we know that he didn't do it, which is very important.
So now what should we do?
Well, the trial is tomorrow, and we only get this one chance. There's only one way to prove Mr. Ungard innocence. We have to find the real killer.
Okay, then let's start looking. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in without... Good morning. Hold on, it's you. What is going on around here? I heard poor Jean was killed. Is that true? It's a bad rerun, is what this is. Another still samurai doing the most evil of deeds.
You know, that's not entirely...
Well, if you know that I was a huge fan of Jean's. Why do all the stars I'm interested in drop one by one like flies? It's always been that way, ever since I was a little girl, the class dancer. The other kids started calling me Queen Reaper, whatever in the name spells evil.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about the murder and what happened.
Don't push me, boy. Mr. Nick, I couldn't hear everything she said because she was talking too fast.
Miss Oldbag, could you please speak a little slower?
Don't boss me around, you spiky head smarty pants. My dear, Emma died a year ago in that dreadful murder. And only recently did I finally find a star that makes this heart go ba-dum again.
I don't know what to say.
I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket? I'd watch your words. No one's going to get away with saying anything bad about my Jean.
You haven't said anything.
Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyway.
Huh? What woman?
That irritating backwalker girl with the afro and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be? And why does she never stop? Honestly, women these days, they don't know the meaning. When I was a young maiden, but despite this, I browsed flowers.
Lars, are you thirsty?
A little.
Okay, I'll go get you some juice or something.
Thank you very much. Hey, are you paying attention? Youngins today.
So I'm guessing Miss Oldbag heard everything from Lotta. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder.
I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready.
Getting ready? For what?
The show, of course. Well, and the press conference afterwards.
Cue mysterious music from the magical press conference.
Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder.
I see.
But if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very clearly. What? I saw the most important moment of the night.
The most important moment? You don't mean...
Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child. When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite. Really, kids today.
Please tell me, what did you see?
The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't?
Please don't stray onto another tangent, please.
You want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present.
Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens.
Wonder if we can do any investigating on our own in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, got to roll up our sleeves and try, I guess.
Hey, you're here. Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer.
Lotta.
Hey, Mr. Copfella, the thief showed his face.
What?
Arrest him, put him on trial, find him guilty, give him the death penalty.
What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling alright?
Looked here and there, and up and down the mountain, but it ain't here. So why don't you just hurry up and give it back to me, you creep? What are you looking for? My camera! Camera! It's my lifeblood. I'm gonna die without my $700 camera.
Your camera?
Look, don't lots of people say that the criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime? And looky, here you are.
Yep, here I am, faced with a lot of trouble.
Huh?
So you lost your camera?
It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in a store and it's $1,600 brand new. But didn't you just say you bought it for $700? I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store. About 5 hours, I reckon. I made this itty bitty scratch on it, and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me his talking to and was real mean about it too. He done made me cry, Dad. When did you lose your camera? Last night, after the murder happened. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear darling expensive sweetie.
Lotta, what did you capture with that expensive camera of yours?
Don't rightly know. I snapped a shot of anything that caught my eye. So I don't remember. Besides, I couldn't get anything for my big scoop.
I wonder if Lotta's missing camera is even connected to the murder. Lotta, please tell me what you know about that. Please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder.
Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually I was here until around the time Mr. Ungod was arrested.
What are you doing here?
You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever a lot of hunt goes, there's a story to be found. A big scoop to be had.
Big scoop?
I told you before, I I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon 'cause that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot.
I wonder what scoop she was after this time.
Although, I was also on the lookout for the other stars that were here. So, maybe I wasn't here the entire time.
Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop?
Well, maybe I was, but that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof?
What a story was it that you would hang around here?
Oops. Sorry, Mr. Lawyer. Can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know.
Oh God, why does everyone have something to hide?
We've been stalked, haven't we? Yeah. Take that, Mr. Lawyer.
That's someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and your... Miss Lotta and your I rule smile.
Mr. Nick, where are we?
We're in Mr. Jean Corridor's room, pals.
Mr. Corridor?
The victim, which makes this the crime scene too.
Oh, it's you. So, what happened? A kidnapper? Has he contacted you again?
Not yet. Probably won't until we win Mr. Engard's acquittal.
Oh, you doing okay, pal? Hanging in there?
Just want Maya to be alright.
We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm going to help you as much as I can, pal.
Can you do that? Even if you want to look around the crime scene?
Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you've got to keep quiet. It's my neck on the line here.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Well, you're giving it to me? Thank you.
I wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel too big for its own good.
Mr. Nick, I got a map.
That's great, pals.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Do you know what was the cause of death?
Well, technically, the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the victim should tell you, pal.
It should.
Yeah, here's a picture.
There's a knife in his chest.
Yeah, pal, that's the murder weapon.
So he was stabbed to death.
I'm looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now.
There were fingerprints on the knife?
Yep. It looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Engard's prints, pal.
That's bad. Real bad. Why was Mr. Engard arrested?
Because we had evidence on him.
Evidence?
Looks like the victim in John Corridor really put up a big fight.
Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. Signs of a struggle everywhere.
Oh, yeah, during the fight his button came off.
Mr. Engard said something about a button. Something like one of the jamming ninja's buttons got caught in his karma.
But that's not all.
What?
There was a witness, pal.
Witness? Who is it?
That lady. Miss Old Bag.
Please, anyone but her.
Prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something around where the Vic was that... Around where the Vic was that's a little off.
Something that's a little off? As in,
That's for you to figure out, pal.
Alright, let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick. Well, there are a lot of bears.
1 o'clock ones, collected edition, stuck teddies, plastic models. Pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have?
There's even a few in the trash can.
Yeah. I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like the bears.
Poor teddies.
It's hard to bear with all these problems.
I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
It's a suitcase. There's so many things in it that I bet it barely closes. There's clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator.
The wall stars pack too much stuff like Mr. Corridor. So messy here.
Always really like things neat and... Always really likes things neat and tidy, I take it.
There are lots of electronic things in here that I've never seen before. Hey, Mr. Nick, tell me what they are. Pretty please.
Okay, that over there is a watch. You wear it on your wrist.
I know what a watch is.
Oops, for a second there I forgot I was talking with pals, not Maya. I think that's fine, okay. Looks like Mr. Corridor had dinner last night.
This bottle, it's tomato juice.
He had a lot of food at the award show last night. I wonder if the stars had gone on stage after only eating a meager meal like this.
So, that's a bed, right?
Yep, it's big, but it's a bed.
Oh, Mr. Nick, it's so soft.
Big beds must be a rarity for her. It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it.
Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much.
There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from.
But doesn't it seem weird?
What seems weird?
I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor.
She's right. Flower vase was broken and the makeup is strewn everywhere.
Why is this glass the only thing that's still alright?
Bottles of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. That's probably where Mr. Corridor fought his assailant.
What are these bits of glass from?
Flower vase, maybe? There are flowers on the floor, but don't know what they are.
You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick?
This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange. The guitar is not here.
Maybe you forgot to bring it to the show.
But Mystic Maya, She said the bright red guitar was the jamming ninja's signature item.
It's true. Huh? This guitar case is wet. It's only wet on the top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it?
So, about this wine glass.
Ah, so you noticed it, pal. The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was left untouched.
You noticed that too, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, actually Miss Von Karma noticed it first.
Yeah, Pal's noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So, does that mean Miss Von Karma's here at the hotel?
Yeah, she's around. Man, you're going to be in so much trouble, pal. Especially if she catches you in here.
Well, you can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash.
What's that peeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard this sound somewhere before.
It's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
For some reason, whenever I hear that sound, she pops out of nowhere and whips me.
Come to think of it, that's exactly what happened the last time.
Sorry, I gotta make myself scarce. Later, pal. Yo!
At last, you've revealed your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change?
So, you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you.
Ow!
Hey, don't you dare run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat.
Oh,
I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful. Detective, come over here for a second. I feel better knowing at least you're a man enough to face your punishment.
I was so scared he just froze up on the spot.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, you have soiled my perfect prosecution record. Never forget that. This time, victory is mine.
Victory is yours. Is that all this means to you?
What? Come, Scruffy. The investigation briefing is about to begin.
yes, sir.
This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor.
Ow. What did she throw at me now? What is this?
Well, I guess this means I've got to get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you.
Oh, it's on the table.
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
Paper's got Mr. Crowder's name written on it, so it's his autograph.
I can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
It's a special way of writing called cursive. Look here, see how it says "To my dearest Wendy" in more normal letters here.
This sloppy, unreadable writing. It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone.
Hold on. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before.
Where are we?
We're in Mr. Matt Uncard's dressing room. This is our client's room.
May I help you with something?
Where?
You're Mr. Uncard's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail.
How did you know I'm his lawyer?
You were just saying that he is your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer. Wow. It's a simple deduction, really. The trial is tomorrow, and Mr. Uncard's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, one stop in your mad dash to find clues to build his case, correct?
Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either.
It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick. I'm Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business.
All right. She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving.
I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Then I will tell you. Before the awards ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Uncard. In this very room, I might add.
Dinner? And what did you eat?
I told you, I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you took a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me.
I bet she's a lot of fun at parties.
When the award show was starting, I headed for Viola Hall.
And after the show ended, you came back to this room?
No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby.
Oh, preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess?
When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. Uncard. After that, I went to visit Mr. Corrida.
And that's when you found his body, isn't it?
You really held strong through everything.
Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So, about you and...
Stop right there. You aren't seriously about to ask how Mr. Uncard and I are related, are you?
Sorry?
I have no idea how he could choose you as his lawyer.
Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give you a shoulder rub to relieve your stress later, alright? I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. Uncard's manager.
His manager. Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Corrida, have one?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
Global Studios has a very different policy from Worldwide Studios, in that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to their stars.
See.
This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this. Honestly. You're wrong. I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya.
Oz, calm down and hang in there. Buy you a juice later, alright?
Oh, Mr. Wright, how are you?
Now, Mr. Powers, have you been here the entire time?
Yeah, people connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave.
you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show?
Okay. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's a sequel to the Still Samurai.
I see.
This time there were 3 samurai brothers: Aluminium Samurai, Tin Samurai, and of course the Nickel Samurai. It's a love why in Neo Older Tokyo.
Wait. Love what?
Love why. This girl, Sayo, works at a tea shop, and all 3 guys fall for her at the same time.
Oh, I guess the Y shape is like the 3 brothers colliding over this one girl.
Anyway, Sayo is actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader.
Sounds like an unusual situation. Like Romeo and Juliet times 3.
Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, Paul?
What happens next? I want to know. Miss Sayo, does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she?
Every Sunday at 8 AM.
I'm going to stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theatre starting this week. Can't believe she's really considering it. So what's the Jamming Ninja TV show like?
It started from a remake of an old movie, to tell you the truth. The Jamming Ninja, like the samurai shows, is geared towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can't scale a wall, but became a big pop star anyway.
What?
He was a really lousy ninja. Absolutely couldn't do any ninja things right at all. But boy could he sing. With his trusty bright red guitar in hand, he took the ancient world by storm.
A ninja with a bright red guitar.
And then, the final fight in front of his beloved Princess Misola. Even Jamming versus the Ramuramachi 5. Suddenly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jamming cold the night before Battle 3.
That's too bad for him.
Yeah. But this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yes, Paul?
What happens next? I want to know. Jamming. The Jamming Ninja. Will he be able to sing? What about Princess Misola?
Every Sunday, 8 AM.
Which show should I watch? I can't believe she's really considering it.
Hi, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little.
So Mr. Powers likes this type of woman. What do you know about Miss Andrews?
Well, here's the thing. I don't really know her, you know? There's sort of a small rumour going around about her right now.
A rumour?
If you're interested, I'll be glad to share what I know.
So happy he looks like a lion that's just found his next meal. Would you mind telling me about this gossip?
So you are interested in it? I figured you would be.
Yeah.
I've such a weakness for celebrity gossip too.
Oh really? You too, huh?
Yeah, so take a look at this.
Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see here. Jamming Midnight Rendezvous?
To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. You see now, don't you?
What?
Well, you can stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. Sean Corridor didn't have a manager of his own, which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA...
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, exactly. This is big news.
But it seems kind of odd that woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of a client?
It's that wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Mr. Powers looks so happy.
Miles is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling.
Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Nada, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, while you were loitering around the victim's room,
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
what I want to know about are the details of this scoop.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, there's my bread and butter.
Right then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Jean Corridor and this person.
This woman.
She's Adrian Andrews, Madame Guard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the German ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it?
You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think that it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah. You gotta have that, what's it, news source?
You mean news source?
That's it. So, show me something that shows that Jean guy had something with Miss Andrews.
This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jamming Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. Mr. Corridor didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Engard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Corridor's door last night.
Well,
You were looking into Mr. Corridor and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you?
you got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching him in a secret meeting.
There's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news.
What'd you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna wanna see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story.
Wow, Lotta, nice journalistic integrity you got there.
I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But on paper I wrote on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now, anyway? Never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? No idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie.
Alright, I'll be honest with you for now.
Please, tell us what you saw.
But, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you young'un's expense. I am a little devil, after all.
Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Right, I'll give you what you want.
That's Jan's autograph.
Yes, it is.
And it even says to my dearest Wendy on it. That's me, right. My name is Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right?
It may say Wendy. Somehow I don't think Jean had this Wendy in mind when he signed it.
Oh, please, give it to me. Let me have it, please.
I can't let you have it just like that.
Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange?
She must really want this autograph.
My offer isn't good enough for you. Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open up her heart, all for my dearest Jean. I feel bad for you now.
Huh?
I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Jean's room.
You're kidding.
Oh no. It was about 10 minutes before Jean's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business.
And did you tell that to the police?
Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it, maybe more. Gift certificate? Might be recruited again for that part of at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty. But Mr. Ungod hasn't done anything bad. I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dear poor Jean in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken. That yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it.
What did Mr. Ungod ever do to her to deserve this? What did Mr. Ungod do to you to make you so...
You don't know? That guy, he framed my Jean. He created that scandal that plagued poor Jean. Mr. Nick?
What is it?
What's that scandal?
I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay?
Poor Jean, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress. Mr. Nick, what do vials and wild temptress mean?
How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, pals? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy. He shoved the girl onto Jean on purpose.
So, manager? Why?
I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Jean lose face. The girl drove Jean into a scandal that drenched his reputation through the mud.
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag?
I'm one of Jean's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
And do you have proof that Mr. Ungard did what you say he did?
Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so.
Ugh, of course. Tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
How could Miss Oldbag have information like that? Where did she get it? Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Me, so you came, pal.
Why the blunt greeting?
Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things look perfect this time round. The evidence and testimony are airtight.
But I can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So, what do you mean the evidence is airtight?
Can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces.
Two?
Both of them are in this photo. First is the button that's missing from the victim's chest.
That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. Ungard.
Yep, found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai Special's pants.
And the second one is?
The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious then, that Ungard's.
Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony?
It's that old security lady. It's Oldbag.
Thought so.
What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal?
Well,
I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone.
the blab knoll is stuck on 10. There's no turning it down. Trust me.
Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Ungard coming out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
Scandal with Mr. Corrida, but why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Jean Corrida's manager.
Victim's manager?
That's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knows about the business from square one.
Mentor?
A woman who is both Mr. Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor.
Could a suicide have something to do with this case?
Do you want to know more about her, Paul?
Oh, even?
She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide. Now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a...
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss Von Karma!
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's...
Wait, please wait, sir. I don't get this much payoff.
quiet. If it weren't for traitors like you...
I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
Who? That voice. Edgeworth!
It's been a long time, right?
This person... This is Mr. Edgeworth?
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Francesca.
You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You've soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are.
I'm talking about the Von Karma family creed. To be perfect in every way. Then let's hear it, Francesca. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country.
You
seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back.
keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't even in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix is right. I will see you in court tomorrow. See you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory.
Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you, or Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick.
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her right. That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What's that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. What is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor. And a perfect win record is proof of a Von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? think your motivation for prosecuting Charles was so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francesca, she almost always says,
I will defeat you this time, the instant she sees me.
but courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. Looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn. What I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago. But she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Jean Corrider's manager. And then a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? A suicide note. It went missing. No one can find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Miss Impact's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. And that's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. Suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impacts had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Jean Corrider himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corrider hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. But now I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has two. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name... It's Adrian Andrews?
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman. That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
secret?
Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews? Dependent? Talk about an exact opposite of what that woman is. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? Why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, the crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. And that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. Terrible.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. It looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Francesca von Karma.
Miss Von Karma? What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
Got some nerve following me around?
Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
That's...
You're always following after that detective with the little beard.
me?
Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move.
So that noise we heard was this receiver. Really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Did you know the victim, Mr. Corrida?
Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place after all. Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai? Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two competed with each other over the most trivial things. If either one of them wasn't so stubborn, then maybe no one would have needed to die.
I'm sure this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Jean Corrida was killed.
Do you have any ideas? As to? As to why Mr. Corridor was murdered. Why would you ask me about such a thing?
I'm just doing my job. So, do you have any ideas? Miss Andrews?
Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add to this conversation. Is it a cyclope, Mr. Nick?
Yes. There's getting to be more and more of these lately. Why was Jean Corridor murdered? You asked me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Ungar's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answer? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corridor.
You were not that close?
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You're not good at being intimate with another person. Somehow I highly doubt that. You and Mr. Corridor had an intimate relationship, did you not?
Silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, seems quite a few people have already bought into this story.
As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on our good side.
In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that.
I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corridor? As if there was ever such a need.
Didn't you get close to Mr. Corridor for this person's sake? Celeste Impacts, your mentor.
How do you know about Celeste?
Miss Impacts, she committed suicide, didn't she? It looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Jean Corridor's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corridor so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker or a putrid third-rate tabloid.
Miss Andrews.
There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship with nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Miss Impacts' suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body? Mr. Corridor?
Jean?
And, Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corridor.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
It's the impression you'd like to give, however. I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impacts was someone very special to you. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
However, that is all just a lie, a cade. You always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impact, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
When Celeste passed away, so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corridor of hiding Miss Impact's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
Why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want Mr. Corridor dead.
Me?
Miss Impact was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder.
Murder? It's true. I'm a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews. This one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine and mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being, right now, don't you?
Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden a suicide note. And that someone was Jean Corridor. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
So you got close to Mr. Corridor to recover her suicide note, correct?
Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, if people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live.
All right, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first.
Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what's that card you're holding?
Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
What is it? Looks like
seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
I'm not remembering something clearly. Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Engard in your capable hands.
Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, pals. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all. Has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh no. I'm okay. Really. I'm fine. I really am.
Don't look fine to me.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impact's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello? Wright and Co. Law officers? Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time.
You...
Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya! Let me hear her! Very well.
Ask
Maya, is that you?
this. Ask my sis.
Maya! Damn it, you cut me off.
Mystic Maya said, ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that?
Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one.
Sorry. Mia!
I have a message from Maya, so come, ask me anything you want about her.
How's Maya?
She's safe, for now. That kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems.
I'm glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how did you know?
As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left, and I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could.
I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Really smart of her. And the kidnapper, what's he like?
Don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at a hotel and was drugged there. And she didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her.
When you were with her?
I'm starving. I could really go for some pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Someone dropped a card here. Kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. And a strange card. Right, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. Wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. That's it. This shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it. Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried.
Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. Court today there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. Mountain of evidence? Certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday. I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? Can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia.
We must get a complete acquittal today.
I know. Not focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. She's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What the world would you want to give me? You'll all figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt and Guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor! Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. You must tell me something. Please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman.
What?
Shot?
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. Present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Ooh. You're...
Thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francesca Von Karma could not appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ungard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation?
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah. Would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
This murder happened after the Hero Heroes awarding ceremony, sir. The victim, Jean Cordier, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant Matt Ungard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. Wonder if she will grace us with her presence. But when the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard. After visiting his room, She next went to the victim's room to get in for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body?
The cause of death? Wasn't that because Mr. Corridor was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pose attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana?
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tight around his neck, sir.
Yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Then what about the knife?
Seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The jamming ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. We couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Well, then what about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too,
But
the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
only the victims, huh?
I see.
So much for my theory then.
What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Jean Corridor, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like it was back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. Matt Guard and John Cordier were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the jamming ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Ungard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
So, the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. And there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes. And we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What?
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honour. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your useless, pointless questions.
But in terms of popularity, Mr. Ungard won, did he not?
Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? John Cordier was always one step behind Mr. Ungard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Cordier lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ungard was beating Mr. Cordier in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess, but
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective, it's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations.
No! Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir.
What I was saying. Hello? Anyone? Do you have any proof that that button belonged to the victim?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jamming Ninja's costume.
Can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
Right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
Ugh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Cordier. And then we did a search of them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
Can't believe we're bumbling with this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of murder.
So was the defendant the owner of this knife then?
There is no way that this was a premeditated murder. even if you brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. Doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
This is not good. Prosecution can prove that it was premeditated murder. We're done for.
Phoenix,
Yes?
there's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
Button covered in the victim's blood, and knife with a guard's fingerprints.
Be grateful if the judge were more rash. He would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
Still in a world of trouble.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
Wait a second.
What?
So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand.
Well, that's right, pal. The defendant...
Did not buy this knife.
Huh?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set on to the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Oh!
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means that this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realise this.
I didn't... Oh...
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Carada's room.
Sorry, Your Honour, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Mattangard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Mattangard's knife was missing. Mr. Ungard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
Seems like Edward had this planned from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honour's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defence were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defence have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, Phoenix. The judge is favouring the prosecution right now. We answer with something wrong here. That gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court is yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
Unless there's something's curtains for all of us.
And we now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
Really, it's the entire bar, isn't it?
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup was all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it, Your Honour?
your opinion?
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible. Mr. Wright?
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? It won't be a week here. The trial is over. I can look for my proof later. But now I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. I just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough. The defence would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves that it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
Turn the situation on its head, yet again as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have evidence to support it.
What?
You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then,
of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants,
Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews.
What?
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
Can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution is yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Gotcha!
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
I tell you, this time I know what I suppose. What I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Oof. Shh, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam.
No, please, by all means interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job, being able to see my dear Jean. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Jean Corridor.
Those two were the same age.
Anyway, all I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when I saw someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Jean's room. It was Engard, Mattengard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Jean's room.
So Mr. Ungard came out of the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination.
Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
In the lobby, I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
That's when you went to hang around the victim's door. Something you were interested in? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Jean. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Redruff, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip. What should it prove relevant? We can always have it appended to our testimony later.
Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Oh, and would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corridor's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Jean's room, he was...
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, but I wouldn't give to have Francesca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
You see?
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
How do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
He was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
Of course it was important, Your Honor. And then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please.
Very well. Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption.
She may not remember things, or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
It's bad for us, really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting subtopics this time too, hasn't she? That's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
It's because you're not the one who has to question her. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason!
Do you know what this is?
It's button number 2 of the jamming ninja's costume.
I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified as a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Ungard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was that rascal Ungard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Akama pants.
See? See? And Ungard is the nickel samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Ungard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, but instead I have to put up with wearing this ridiculous... This outfit is hideous, right? It's heavy, so heavy. I wish we had have switched. Dream we're all alive. Understand? Now take a look in the mirror, your clothes. Documentary on curling, you should take a trip.
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Ungard the man, but Mr. Ungard the nickel samurai?
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Pooh, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
God. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show, right? After the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Jean.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
You youngins today, I told you there is no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
Thinks she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, you young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me and forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Ridgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay. You promise, right?
Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. I might need to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth. Old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well,
what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? And now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
And why would that be?
That way no one could see his face, of course.
There's still no advantage for him if he did it that I can see. In fact, you would think that the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that. You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the jamming ninja.
Of course it included him. And that's why when Engard came out of dear Jean's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
So let me ask you one last thing. One last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
What?
There's a contradiction in the testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay.
Please, take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? Mr. Engard was really in the nickel samurai costume at the time of the murder. And it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The nickel samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way you would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the nickel samurai. At the time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It is well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I've heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? Let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ingard was the killer. That's the case. I think it's possible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. This knife, this was used by Mr. Ingard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Cordia. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from the Your theory was flawed from the supposition one. One more thing. The murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder. Then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? It's to frame my client, Mr. Engard, of course. Frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? We just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness?
Looks like I've made your life a teeny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Boo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Angard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you are waiting for Mr. Jean Cordier. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think. You are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So, Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. It doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Cordier.
Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person.
It's who I think Mia's hinting at. It's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Angard's manager.
Why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumour in circulation, Your Honour.
Oh, this is... well, this is... Ah, I see.
Judge seems to be really into the article. It can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA. Are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt. The witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff, then.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
What for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness. Please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins.
Sure, we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Nappingard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Jean by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Jean. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and it is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumour once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right. God is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, You gotta burn the old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Jean. Look, says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss AA.
The name of the magazine this come from is Gossip Land. Came from even.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% true. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminating? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, and God will never get me to say ouch.
Scandal. What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, Medengard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Engard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything, right?
Right, I can't do anything. Why do I wish I could do something about you?
Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Engard didn't bear any ill will towards John?
Don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait, close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Jean's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you young'uns need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop!
Well, it wasn't too bad that that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one knows yet. That's true, then how did you know this secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? So, no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? That's true, then why did you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper she had written down some of her Impressions. About the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless.
That's it. That's the note.
No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Jean, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Ungard. She said so herself. Ungard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Betty Boo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness? You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terribly lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Miss Oldbag. That note was with a camera. Inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweet $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why, my witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, I fall in love, and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrowing is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos and hurry. You must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that
At the time of the murder, he was still in his nickel samurai costume. That is the case then. This nickel samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. This court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
This photo really is decisive, and we're done for. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took. There's... There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you were planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
You really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo? And you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, find something wrong with this photo. Don't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did you take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't you take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing at? Pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
Costume person in this photo would not have been Mr. Engard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up, just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Right. I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Doesn't feel under attack? And I haven't damaged his case at all.
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Engard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard. In that case, who is this photo a photo of? Who is the person wearing the nickel samurai? Who is the person wearing the nickel samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah. Why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night.
And how does that all add up?
Means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon?
Why don't you just say what it is you want, Wright? To do this now. It's my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Jean Cordier. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 Looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. The verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Right, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. We have to do something. The trial must go on. We don't have anything left. No evidence. No nothing.
Now the court will adjourn.
I am bored wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
What? We cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted the blood-covered button in your Akama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Jean Cordier. Why? I thought she was buds with Jean. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? Sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude.
Phoenix? You think her motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impax as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impax suddenly killed herself. I need to stop. I need to get something to eat. I didn't think this would go on this long. I can't help it. That will have to be all for now. Unfortunately, I don't have time to stream tomorrow. Things I need to do. So we'll pick this up on Saturday. Be in much better condition to do it. I don't like feeling faint. But anyway, for now, that will be all. Bye.